Sanbonani Makai, and welcome to another entertaining, engaging episode of what we call Daily Thetha. Sesifikile sibuyile futhi sikwazile ukuthi namhlanje siqale phansi indaba futhi yabantu abasha. Sidigide lo daba ukuthi ngempela thina njengabantu abasha sifuna ukuthini, sifuna ukuzwakala ungakhohlwa ukuthi kumele ukwenze ukuthi to be a part of the conversation, kumele uthi #DailyThetha ku Facebook, ku Instagram, ku Twitter. Phinde futhi ukhumbule we are live on Facebook Live. Kama-ke umbeloti wakamia uxoleni isibewu abangazi-ke hayi ungangibiza uSheriff sithi-ke asihambe sodwa khona-ke of course uFortune wakamadlala kuyena who is our sign interpreter as we start the show, but angihambi ngedwa Ntokazi.
Ke nna Nicolette wa Gamashile ke re dumelang South Africa, and as Melody's already said khona re lebella taba ya go tshoga o tshaba ying as a South African. I can tell you many things, so negative tshaba, but I think the number one thing that I've got big fear for is just being hunted down as a woman. It really feels like respect already powerful in South Africa. We're being hunted down, we're being harassed, we're being assaulted, we're being raped. That for me is one of my biggest fears. But also, of course, as the financial bunny, I'm also really afraid of unemployment. One day, retrenchment what do you do as a young South African who is trying to start their job, their life, you know, everything that you're trying to do in your life, and then all of a sudden the only income is taken away from you? That's what we're going to be talking about Daily Thetha. Remember, join a conversation on social media. Just remember to #Daily Thetha. And our beautiful Ludekwazi was out in the streets. Let's go and see what they had to say.
Do you have any fears that you're struggling with, and when are we going to do?
Mina ngoyika human trafficking, because thina singabantu besifazane like singi accepta kalula ama lift kubantu esingabazi kakhulukazi abantu besilisa nasebusuku. And recently kuna ku internet kuyaveza ukuthi umuntu ucele i-lift base bathola umzimba wakhe usonqonyiwe esigangeni. Lokho yikho ongekho right kuyithi thina abantu besifazane ukuthi singaba ama easy target and singa accept noma yini kalula kwemantweni, singa trust futhi kalula.
My sexuality is really my fear. Yeah, because of usually sometimes when I go, okay, I've been working at this restaurant, you understand? So there were these rumors about me, about my sexuality, lesbian this, lesbian that. So my manager decided to take me out, to fire me with no written warnings or whatever, you understand? So I'm asking myself for my sexuality, how come can my sexuality can be involved where I'm working, you understand?
My fear is to grow the challenges that in South Africa, because when I see myself growing in a very fearful country, I become scared because I'm going to face those challenges as a young person, and that means growth as a person is at stake.
Looking at South Africa right now, our state of unemployment is so high that I cannot even think. And the most sad part is that we have degrees, we have diplomas, but there are no jobs. That's my fear too, that I might go to school, but after school, what am I going to do? You know, so my biggest fear would be unemployment.
You know, siphile kanjena eMzantsi Afrika.
I don't know. Because when they say give my demoni, understand the scene, the whatever. But I didn't kill anyone. You understand? I live my own life and I didn't steal anyone's feelings. It's my own feeling.
Thina singabantu besifazane sivuma noma yini umuntu asithembisa yona kakhulukazi umuntu wesilisa. So lokho senza ukuthi sithi yes kunoma yini. Yeah, and akukho right.
Experience yaka is sing handling South Africa is xenophobia. You know, oneness, living in a country that does not appreciate black consciousness. You know, at the time of Nakotsabu Steve Biko, banibalwanela black consciousness, African unite. So fear yaka ke yona eno no ya racism e teng ka hare ho South Africa. Re tlameha re tsebe hore ma Africa re bana ba motho a le mong. Yes.
We come from a history where other people are more privileged than us when it comes to race. But at this point, what Mandela and other leaders have done, they've paved the way for us. It's time for us to take a leap of faith, you know, take control as the youth, to have confidence, self-confidence, and start working on our own.
It is quite evident that wonke umuntu ophila apha eMzantsi Africa lives in fear, and hayi ngoba bezikhethela okanye bezithandela, but it's circumstances. And ekugqibeleni funeka sonke sikhumbule uba before this crime and femicide and anything, we are all human beings, and that really is the concept of ubuntu. Masibuyele nembo, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu.
Ngathi uyazwela-ke nawe ukuthi ziningi inkinga esinazo, but enkulu ukuthi sibuye from a time thina as abantu abamnyama who were living in fear of ukuphuma endlini during apartheid. Kodwa esikhathini samanje sicabanga ukuthi sesi-free 25 years into democracy, sesiphila ney'nkinga ey'nkulu manje whereby we can't even leave our homes because sithukile. Asazi ukuthi we're going to be hit by crime, or maybe even worse, sizoshawa unemployment, or mhlampe sizohlukunyezwa umama or usisi endlini. Konke kuningi kuyenzeka, but asisizi ukuthi thina our studio guests have to say. My brother, what's your name and what's your fear?
Good day, my name is Delmain. I'm a teacher in the East Rand, right?
Yeah.
My biggest fear has got to be drug abuse. Not just drug abuse in general, but purely pointed towards drug abuse amongst the youth.
So, okay, I think your mic is, we've lost connection. Let me try to find another one. But Nicolette, for the moment?
Yeah, I think for now, let's ask my sister here, uchaba ying na, and then we'll come back to that side, Melody. Seswaka uchaba ying mo South Africa.
Sanibona isonto phakathi eNewcastle. Mina ngokwami into engisaba kakhulu icrime.
Okay, aritware sosesi. A bit of a technical issue, but I think we can still read a little bit of social media, Melody. Carol Christ Tehila, my fear is due to the high level of crime. It causes us to increase the unemployment rate. I just quit my job because bahlala bangibamba inkunzi. I can't imagine ubanjwa inkunzi, uzahambela, uyastroela emgwaqeni, boom, motokotwara inkunzi. Your own personal possessions being taken away from you.
Also got another message my fear is due to the high level of crime. It causes us to increase the unemployment rate. That's the same one.
Yes.
Yeah, but even in that, I wanted to come back to that one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I remember I was literally going to church, being a son twain, and this man literally conned me of my shoes and my socks. As a small boy, I was literally 6 years old. It was crazy. Prince, my greatest fear is leaving this earth without fulfilling my purpose. I strongly believe that we were all uniquely born with our specific purpose to fulfill in life, and dying without achieving that will question my significance, which is why I make the most of every single day and live a life to my fullest potential.
Sure, Melody, it just makes me think. One of our producers told us at 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning. Guys, that doesn't make sense to me. But I think that's what we're going to be talking about daily Thetha.
And some of those people bahlala nathi endlini, bahlala emphakathini yethu, abobhuti bethu, abomalume bethu, and at what point nathi sifile ukuthi we need to be honest.
Guys, we do apologize for all the technical issues that we're experiencing right now. You know gore daily Thetha a re tshwanele tsona, it's no tsa rune tsona ke re. Rona tse ba gore re batho ba baswa, and lo tsa rona always we're on point. But always on point with technical stuff. But unfortunately, we do have a bit of technical difficulties, but it's not a big problem. Please do stay with us after the break. Ralamagala back on Daily Thetha. Le khonor lebela taba gore na mo South African na ba chaba ying na. King lo tsa di ba tsela boroko boshego. It just you end up finding yourself ubalabala boshego gore na bana ba ka ke ba tlhokomela byang. Mmereko wa ka ke o tlhokomela byang. Mosadi wa ka ke mo tlhokomela byang. Bana ba ka bona mo strateng bona ke ba tlhokomela byang. And that's what we want to just focus a little bit on in terms of looking at our schools also, our children. How are they going to be surviving if Rune, the adults, are not even surviving ourselves? We're speaking to Hannes. Hannes, talk to me a little bit about what are some of your biggest fears?
Well, there's a lot of fears in South Africa, which we have, but the crime is on top of the list. It got so bad that we actually want to immigrate a lot of times in the past. But we so soon realized, and I think it's for all South Africans to realize, that we are born here for a reason and a purpose. And God has put us in this country for a reason and a purpose, and that we must fulfill it.
Where, Hannes, where are you going to emigrate to, where there's no crime?
Yeah, that is a problem.
There is, yes.
Each country has got its own issues, yes.
You don't have kids yet, right?
No, we don't have kids.
Can you tell me the reason why?
The thing is, because of the country's state at the moment and their future, we are very afraid to get kids.
You know what? Mafusi's also got a story similar to yours, but she has Unalungwana, and there's something that happened to Wana. Can you tell us the story, Mafusi?
Dumelang. Ka lebitso ke Mafusi Lebenya. Last year, around nako between February, if not March, my adult son, balabam Kenya kaputing. And Ukenya kaputing ki a neighbor. If it wasn't for my younger son,
how old is your youngest son?
My youngest son, he was, because this is telling, he was 7 last year.
7 years old.
Yes. Lata amata anjuza nonki. Ntate olo kenze totiso kaputi.
Sure. Patung.
Yes. Apparently this thing, it happened on Thursday.
Yeah.
He claims ngwanaka o scratchile koloi ya hae.
Okay.
And then tla kopana le mme wa ka. Okay, ba isoba jwalo ka batho ba baholo because nna ne ke le sekolong. Ha ba isoba jwalo ka batho ba baholo ya fela. Ifedile. Saturday ngwana o bapala front opposite ya montate mo dulang teng. O jumpa strata. Ha ton jumpa strata o nka ngwana o mkenya ka putung wa ekwala.
Patong.
And then ngwana ko mnyano ya fihla o ya matha. O gane nonki ba kentse tlotiso ka puting ke mang. O ya shikintate o le o dulang
opposite.
Yes, nto chomia mo chomia bona me dulang teng hape because ke di romo nkere. Okay, ke ska nkela hlohong. Ke mola ngwana o yalla. Tlotiso ke eng? O ya tsho. Ke fonele mwaka. Mwaka a fonele chomia etle ho nna. Ke fonele this other family friend of ours.
Yeah.
I go to the police station. I go to the police station. Ba ga nne tsa hetseneng ke ba bolelle ke re no ke ngwana o bona butu wa hae ba mkenya ko puting. Yabo. Okay, mapolisa re tle le ona ha ba tla le ona ba no sort this matter as
between yourselves
as neighbors. So I don't know whether resolve because the guy who took my son inside the boot, they were speaking the same language.
All this time, when I'm maponesa, and one also go putu.
No, umunti zanke ubono ngwana ko mnyanyana.
Okay, I'm getting shivers. Yeah.
Hey, anke ubono kana ba mo patri. Amunta. And then do you know what I hate the most is that it's a hare khutlela ko maponesa and re tla maponesa. He denies it.
Sure. Mafusi, just in one sentence, how were you feeling throughout this entire experience?
And a little day, like,
yeah.
I still feel bad.
One.
And then my fear is that he's a boy and enga ele hai hola
yeah. Can you imagine, Melody, the trauma young one, you made a mistake.
But what if you didn't do it? The biggest problem was back in the day, we used to live in communities where your child is my child.
Yes.
Yes. Like, I don't understand how did things change so fast overnight. We have a caller. Katleho, welcome to Daily Thetha.
Katleho?
Katleho, are you there?
Yeah, I'm on time.
Hello? Khopela o re timele TV Katlego o re kwale le fester if ko koloing o kene tabeng papa.
Yeah, number here is the one of unemployment.
Yeah.
I'm talking as a qualified teacher or the commerce.
Yeah.
So that is here the government getting around more other surrounding areas, but eliminate the commercial subject. And it makes it difficult for not to know because you go to the commercial where the whole and then Banabamo around the commerce, but then simply because someone eliminate the level for shortages of teachers well or the commerce well as we out there and it's like Rinyagana support Vasadi.
Sure. Yeah.
So now
Katlego, re kgopela go go tetela because line ya gago is a bit, but I think re ikwele taba ya
Yeah.
gago. O complaina ka taba la gore his biggest fear, Melody, is he's studied to teach commerce subjects.
Sure.
But the schools around him, they don't offer commerce.
You see, again, it goes back to conversation best Naizolo, Wutini. Sometimes we need to also do our research building up to our career journeys.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of this thing you must know, Wuti, because I want this job, I want to work here. And sometimes we find there's a disconnect. But khuluma ngabo teacher, ngifuna ukukhuluma noPhumlani, Phumlani ngimazi kahle all the way from Davidton, and I mean as a teacher, Phumlani, as umuntu osebenza ngeingane, sikhuluma ngeviolence in communities.
Yo.
But let's speak about the violence ezikolweni, where you see a video of a child hitting a teacher. Phumlani, njengothisha awungibeke stars mfethu.
Njengothisha, I think my biggest fear is ill-disciplined kids.
Yeah.
And gang formations in schools.
Yeah.
Yabona, once it happens that a child is ill-disciplined, you'll always fear when you're a teacher coming to work, because you never know what's going to happen. And now, the biggest defeat,
sure,
when your fear is going to rise to 100%, is when you call a parent and say, parent, your child is doing 1, 2, 3, and then the parent tells you and says, "Yaz nameka uyangihlula lo muntu." You're going to be defeated and you're going to be scared and say, what's next? What's going to happen? So that is my fear. Ill-disciplined kids and gang formations in schools.
Phumlani, asebuyisekhaya. Have you had an experience? I mean, you come from a very good school. Ngiyakwazi lokho because we visited your school before. But when, in your experience, have you experienced this physically esikolweni?
Yeah, it has happened a couple of times, and it takes a really dedicated teacher ukuthi you handle the situation properly. So when these things happen, they escalate, you try to get assistance as much as possible. You avoid confrontations because of once you confront an ill-disciplined learner in front of other learners, you are in trouble, my man. Because of that child, if he or she is able to do that in front of Pamgwabant, it means that child can humiliate you even as a kaya, angeke baze bamenze next.
Ungiqeda bokuthi in front of Pamgwabant.
In front of Pamgwabant.
My brother, I've got another teacher here. If you can just pass the mic, Ugutini. He also comes with his experience of a teacher. My brother, tell me about your experience, Jongo teacher.
I think the biggest, like you mentioned, the fear of violence, right? But I think it comes down to the fact that the parents aren't there, for one. The parents are not there.
Sure.
Second, they're in harsh economic conditions.
Yeah.
Right? And then the biggest one that I personally despise has got to be drug abuse.
Sure.
Especially amongst young children. Can you just imagine that 11, 12-year-olds entering your class, high as a kite?
Sure.
Sitting there in front, you teaching a lesson, you thinking to yourself, I want to impact them, I want to give them something.
Sure.
But they're just sitting there, thinking about where they're going to get their next fix.
An 11, 12-year-old, how? How does an 11-year-old fall to drugs? Nicolette?
Patong, like, you know what? Today, Thetha, you're also a teacher. A former teacher.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of your experiences with the violence at schools?
Violence at schools are just a microcosm of the society at large.
Okay.
So everything that you see happen in the classroom is happening in the home and then in the streets. Drugs are a serious problem.
Yes.
But at the root of it all is the fact that the kids don't have money at home. They become addicted to gambling as a result.
Yes.
They might just decide to bunk the entire school day just to play some
dice.
zwippy
Yeah.
or play some dice.
Yeah.
And in banking, other things happen aside from that. The drug abuse is a reality.
Yes.
But on my first day at the school I was at last year, a boy got stabbed in the class.
At home.
The class didn't have a teacher and the teacher wasn't there, so they were bunking in there. The following week, while bunking again, there was an alleged gang rape there in the back of the school. A couple of months later, while bunking again, the kid gets stabbed in the neck.
With what? What are they stabbing each other? A
And
knife?
the problem is that it might not always be the kids who do this. The guys in the streets find out that the kids have received tablets.
Yes.
Because we've got this new e-learning system.
Yes.
They know those kids will receive the tablets. They know where those kids will bunk. and they know where to get those kids.
When I am one source, we're gonna come back to you, but I think irrelevant social media from Bongi saying that my biggest fear is that the robot is in future will take jobs and will be out of jobs soon. What will happen to the next coming generation? But what's about AI, Melody?
Aye, man, yes, guys. You know, the fourth industrial revolution, I've seen the million tools, million C's. The fourth industrial revolution is here to advance impilo. It's here to advance. But so when the topic is khuluma ngayo kabanzi, sikwazi ukusinifundise ngakho. Kodwa kwamanje ngicela ukuthi sikhumbule ukuthi #deleted. Besibuya siyadigida kakhulu lo daba.
My name is Ginelo Siate, and I am currently staying in Shanghai, in China. I am a early childhood development teacher, so I teach children from the ages of 6 months all the way to 3 years old, and that's what I do in China. And I wanted to know what's out there in the world, because if you stay in one place for too long, that's all you know. And I wanted to know different things, you know, how different people are. And China is completely different from what I know. So it was a very easy decision. So that's why I decided to come and work here in China. I don't have any fears. I have a good job. There are many opportunities here for anybody. Just remember why you're here. And one of the reasons why I like China is because it is very safe. It is completely safe. I'm not saying there isn't crime, but I can say for the first time in a long time I can breathe. Yes, I don't have to worry about walking down the street and someone trying to rob me or anything like that. Cat calling me names, making me feel unsafe. I don't have any fears right now. When I've been living here, you find if there's a problem with unemployment, the government already has a plan for that. You know, if there's something that we're going through now, the coronavirus, you know, there is like an action towards it. They don't wait. So there's like an immediate response. But I don't think there is an immediate response, because how many years have we been crying about safety, unemployment, and corruption? And again, there's no immediate response. So those are some of the fears, I guess, that's going on. Change is inevitable. So whatever happens will happen. I can't say what I hope would happen. What I hope would happen is that women do take up more space. You know, like we get a voice, we get a say, because there's no point in men coming up with situations for women when they aren't women. You know, it's like, that doesn't make any sense, you know.
Welcome back. Esilibona Luna Daily Thetha has gone international. We've got a beautiful new feature. South Africa who are placed in different parts of the So we are worldwide, guys. So Africa China or China, because she is part of the Daily Thetha family. Now, I just want you to focus quickly on the statistic. In 2019 statistic, at least 29%, and just even slightly above 29% of South Africans are unemployed. But and I think Melody spoke quite a lot about this. Is it going to be able to give you a job, and does it open up a lot of job opportunities? Because AI America, you don't even need a petrol attendant anymore. Can we bring something like that to South Africa? Will it take away jobs? And that's what we're going to be talking about. When now, we've got an economist, Ndumiso Hatebe. Ndumiso, the economy of South Africa, AI, should we be in fear?
It is something to be of concern for South Africans. It depends what our response is to this fourth industrial revolution era.
Okay.
In the current state in South Africa, grade 1, by the time you matric grade 12, over half of those learners who started grade 1 in that year, which is from 1 million to about 600,000 who then matriculate over that period. Almost half of those kids then out of the education
Yes,
system.
yes.
Bese uyazibuza ukuthi bakuphi labantu abasha
Yeah.
benzani and how are they contributing or building their own lives.
Yes.
And mina ukusaba kwami ukuthi what is our response from a policy perspective,
Yes.
and what is our response as uhulumeni ukwenzeni ukuthi abantu abasha baba nemsebenzi. Nakulento le fourth industrial revolution, what are we doing as South Africans to take advantage of that?
Okay, speaking about that, we've got an episode that's still coming up. About the face of education in South Africa. Now, la syllabus in South Africa. Is it actually readying our students, even if it's just the 600 that do matriculate, is it readying them for a life of AI, a life within AI, and a life of working with AI?
Well, Sisbonile, Minister of Basic Education, cited that they are making efforts to introduce coding at the level of a primary school, which I think is a good indication, it's a good step forward. But I think because of our industries are evolve and the pace at which education also evolves also has to be at the same rate. So it's quite a challenge that we need to be responsive towards.
It's quite a challenge because most South Africa what's up the fourth industrial revolution, and we're still teaching children how to dissect and insect. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yazi futhi nakhona ikhumbuza ukuthi abantu abaningi that bathanda isikolo, you understand, abantu abathanda isikolo, it's every day. It's not just the book that you funda esikolweni. Imfundo as a whole idinga umuntu othanda ukufunda iphepha and just always educate yourself. Njengale WhatsApp status us update us. Now it's updating ngolwazi ukuthi what's happening in the world. Kodwa ke ukukhule mina ngibuya nakho ukuthi ukhumbule ukuthi a part of the economics that comes to unemployment is also the understanding of things like financial literacy. You know, of how we move into the world of saying asna mali, and how far in can we go into education to introduce concepts like financial literacy. Mina, in your opinion, when how do we change from an education perspective to an actual motion of education?
Well, it starts with endlini.
Sure.
Endlini ubheke ukuthi abazali bafundisa kanjani abantwana babo ukuthi imali iphathwa kanjani. From lapho izosuka esikolweni. So those two things will complement each other. But without ingaqala ngendlini, because endlini is the base, you can't expect a teacher njengophumlani to teach umntanakho into wena ongayiqalanga endlini. So it becomes difficult that way.
But Tingbuzeke in this element, then how does that impact the crime? Because I need to nigumtani imali endlini. Right? You give your child money, which a party's captain. Same money that can be used for drugs, same money that can be used now to start to be involved in gangs. In your opinion, how do you think that affects crime?
Well, I mean, I think we need to go back to that thing. Exactly. Do you know that thing? So, more born umuntu estradeni ayenza into engekho right. Ungabheke mobo tax umntana, at least tax umntana. Ukhale na ukuthi I know wawenza into so na so. So that community based that old adage ukuthi it takes a village, quote unquote, to raise a child. I think we are losing it, and unfortunately it's manifesting itself with the high crime rates as into zinjalo.
Quick one. Is it the fault of government or mhlambe inkinga emphakathi yethu?
A bit of both, but more emphakathini. I think we've outsourced impilo zethu with government. So umuntu akananto uthi government is so na so. Yes, government is very important. Policy and making people feel safe emakaya, in the community, giving access to opportunities in education. But also now as umzali, now as umphakathi, you are very important as well. Ekhuliseni, ekunakekeleni umphakathi wenu kokuqala nokukhulisana ingane zenu.
Tikufaka usiswami la ngiphuthuma siswami ngicela ukuzwa imizwa yakho uzizwa kanjani as umuntu esifazane eMzansi esikhathini samanje le ndlela izinto zenza ngakhona.
Igama lami nguJoy Ngwakansele ngibuya eGlencoe. I would say right now, my biggest fear, it's being a woman itself. Because you can't walk freely without looking over your shoulder. Not because it's something that it's our daily bread, but uyatandaza ngiyabonga ukuthi ngifike safe endlini. Mawutshela umzali mom ngifike safe emsebenzini, ngifike safe esikoleni. It's no longer cute. Fanele usho abazali bakho bezokwazi ukuthi no umntana ethu safe akwenzakalanga lutho today. Thank God to that.
Sure. We've got social media Melody coming from Busiso and Nombatana. My biggest fear is unemployment. I'm a UNISA student and funded by NSFAS, living with my unemployed parents and 4 siblings. What will be of us if I, as the eldest daughter, don't find a job and help out my parents? Finding a job is hard at the same time. I have to study and still stress about finances. Sure, that's a real fear, guys. It's a seriously real fear of all South Africans that are living right now in the current economic state. But we're going to be talking a little bit more about that and some of the other issues that people have in the country. Please do stay with us.
Post-democratic South Africa, and a lot of people are still grappling with the idea of living in fear. And I am at your service. Thetha, we are speaking to South African and non-South African citizens. What is it that they really fear in South Africa? Being a woman in South Africa, that alone is a risk because femicide is real, crime is real. So and how are they really coping around these circumstances? When you fika in South Africa and wahamba ngesiphi isizathu esona sona esasipressa ukuthi uhambe?
Mina nsuke it was 2006. That time bekungela mvula, kunganethi, asikwazi kulima, asikwazi ukuthi senze kanjani, ukudla kuyaswelakala, mali ngalimi, ukudla kukho.
Ngisasayijubela ngithi ngizama impilo yabona. Madezima ikinto ehlanganayo la so ngisuke ngale ngeza la uyabona ukuthi ngizothola ukuphila nje ngotho.
Our leader now is in jail na. Now it's 3 years now. So who is the opposition party now? It's like a opposition leader na. The all are in charge of jail, some of them are run away from country. So it's killing, it's put in jail. That's why many people are run away now from Bangladesh.
Yini oyisabayo la eMzansi?
Into engiyinaka kakhulu esisabayo kakhulu ibugebengu, especially ma ungapha uhamba nje estradini uthola ukuthi awukwazi ukubamba ifoni yakho, ukuthi nje umuntu mayokufonela ubamba ifoni yakho, especially thina abantu besimami kakhulu.
Ja izonphobia hiyo nje into ebengikhala ngayo eMzansi nje hayi so far yonke into igreen la kimi eMzansi ku right ngikaphileka ngiyaziphilela nje ubungibona nje siswakhe ngi right ayikho inkingi.
Problem is the one is coming the shop. He takes our stock. When he's go there, those people is just shoot the people and killing like this. I ask you a question, why is killing us? We are not fighting when he's coming the shop. He take the stock, you must go. Don't kill us.
Yeah, go right lapha hayi akulanki. Timslot. Wasithathela impahla zethu, hayi abachisa abamoshi, wasithathela impahla zethu, the property, yonke into yokugqoka. Bathi nesingama foreigner.
Many people are coming to many countries from Bangladesh now. You know what happening in the Bangladesh, maybe you will see the news now. So when we are coming here, we don't get any job. We just open the small business, truck shop, small supermarket. So when we open the business here, we sell our land, we sell our house that side. We bring it some money here, we invest. But our life is not safe too much here.
Into abangayaziyo ukuthi ama foreign njoba ngiyi-foreigner nami ngibuye eZimbabwe emakokweni north lebulawayo khona yithi thina esenza umsebenzi ukuthi eSouth Africa ithuthuke kanjalo yithi thina abantu esibuya ngaphandle
sayisali singama foreign yabona mara basithethe nje nathi besigaya kunjani sibe free nje yabona sikwazi ukuphila ngithola into ezinjalo.
Nani nayibonela ukuthi abantu abaningi bayibona uMzansi ngendlela ezingafani. Abanye baya right beza ukuthi sekungconywane, abanye bayakhala bathe izinto zikakashintshi. According to South African Police Services, they've said that in South Africa every 30 minutes khona ogangayo there's a crime that's been committed. Mina I believe it's probably like every 15 seconds. Lendlela izinto ozibona ngakhona ku social media. Just this morning bengifunde ngifamily umama nobaba who were kidnapped and wathola ukuthi ke umama zanga kwazi ukuthi abuyele ekhaya. And you sit and you think about ukuthi baze bayacabanga ukuthi bashiya ubaba bathatha umama wengane. Ngize ngizibuza, are we really that comfortable as abantu ngecrime eSouth Africa? Ivimba gang niphelelepi beninamandla angisayizwe ivimba manje uqhubeka. But also nakhona ngize ngibuza kancane siswami because the psychological challenges of ukubanja inkunzi are heavy. Psychological post-trauma of ukuthi ulahlekele umama ubona umuntu abulala uma wakho into enkulu akusinto encane. But how do we deal with it? How do we treat it? Mhlawumbe kancane sisi uwazi ukuthi usinike kancane nje perspective.
So masicabanga i-PTSD, or when we talk about trauma,
Yeah.
we first of all have to understand with South Africa on its own
Yeah.
is a country that is very violent.
Yeah.
And what you find with trauma is that it then spills into other aspects of one's life.
Yeah.
And sometimes when things happen to us, the immediate response is adrenaline response, fight or flight.
Yeah.
And what that serves is it's an evolutionary kind of instinct for you to survive and for your mind to reconcile what is happening and for your ego to be preserved so that you can actually deal with the challenge in front of you. But what then happens is that the trauma sits in your body, and what happens is throughout time you find that you then find all of these little things that then happen. You struggle to eat, you struggle to sleep, you struggle to go into certain spaces, you get quite triggered, and you've got these physiological responses to certain spaces. And what we are as a country is that even if something happens to you now and you feel like you're okay, most likely in the future you will still feel greatly impacted by it.
So I guess khuluma kancane ngokuthi mhlambe njengomuntu who's gone through trauma, right? Like how do we identify the post trauma? How umbona kanjani umuntu who's been affected by certain things, but njengomuntu wesilisa hayi trauma in psychologist for ngiyaphi, and we have this already thing. Si addressa kanjani into kanjalo kancane nje?
So what we often find, Uguti, you have certain attributes such as being aggressive, being irritable, coming into certain spaces, your heart starts to race, or you have this uneasy feeling, abanye you have nausea. Settled in whatever that needs to happen. Others are even triggered by scent, smell, color, certain facial expressions or certain facial features. So what happens is, or even a car, if you've been abducted, for example, for the lack of a better term, any car, for example, what happens is when you see that car again, it triggers that kind of response from you as well.
Ngiyabonga siswami, as jobusho kanjalo ukhumbula as umuntu omusha ngithi ngihambe emphakathini ubona umama omlungu abamba isikhwama ngoba kuvele mina a young black boy waselokishini edlule eduze kwakhe. Namhlanje ngibona umama omnyama hamba kanje. Oh, zashintsha izinto emzansi.
Yeah. I think just listening to the psychologist is boosting. Just thinking about also our mental health, Lorenza. A lot of young people by depression. Can you maybe take us through the fear and the actual real fear of having a mental issue?
What I can say is that it starts at home.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good support system and if you don't have a support system around you, that because your parents might be like they are off.
Yeah.
But at least if you have your aunts or your uncles that are supporting you and whatever, then it's easier to deal with issues in the home and you won't be exposed to mental illness.
Yes.
Like the other child who is in a surrounding that has drug addicts and they've been raped and whatever, and there's no one that they can tell. They don't know who to call. They don't know psychologists where they can find them. They will obviously grow, and what I find is that people just bottle everything up. By the time that they grow up and they explode, everyone around them, feels it, and by the time you've exploded, it's already too late.
Maybe let's speak to Sia just a little bit before we go to our caller who's on the line. Sia, South Africa is generally a violent country. Does that mean then we give up and say, because it's a violent country, I need to live in fear, and I'm not sure, I always need to be overprotective of myself?
No, that's true. But here's the thing with fear. Fear paralyzes.
Yes.
And we need to look beyond fear in order for us to move forward as a nation. We need to be courageous and move forward. So we can't afford to give up. We do not have the luxury of giving up.
Yeah.
For the sake of our kids and for the sake of ourselves, when I see young people here, I always say that we can no longer push the narrative of tomorrow's leaders, future leaders. We are today's leaders. So it is up to us to take over and say that we are taking charge of our problems. We are taking ownership of our problems. And just to link it quickly with the issue of femicide, that the people who are killing women, they are directly affecting the economy.
Of course.
And they are not aware that the very same people who go out and pen streets and say unemployment. South Africa, last time I checked, there was about 57 million of us. 51% of that 57 million, it's female.
Yes.
About 37% of that, it's youth.
Yes.
That says to us, South Africa, it's young, it's black, and it's female.
Yes.
So we cannot continue to kill young black women. In fact, we cannot continue to kill women And we can just continue, not continue to be a violent nation in
Definitely.
general.
Do you quickly, with a yes or a no,
Yeah.
do all South Africans need to go see some therapist at some point?
I think we are collectively traumatized.
Collectively traumatized.
So we need to.
We tlhoka therapy, Melody, but let's take Masite. Dumela Masite? Le kae papa? Re gona. O tshosa keng South Africa?
Mama ke tshosha ke ka mokgwa ba basadi ba tlaisha ka gona mo South Africa.
Batho ba modimo.
Nta mathomo mama ntse nkusha go hloko every day pila ka phela ba bohloko because of mosadi wa ka o tswa mo ntlong ka 5 o'clock ya mmerekong and then work ka 7. So ntse nkusha go every day ga ke phela ke ba le monagano gore a fotla fihla taxi ke khona fihla taxi na because of ke tsa ba ba tshwara po ba sadi ebile ba ba re and gore ka mo ke se ke ne le ntungo mo ncontong ya ka gore ba bona one day ge nkare ka go mosadi ya ka re ba mo reipile ge a ka ba tsebile ka o ke a ke mo tshwarishe ke tepolaela ena ka noši ke tshwariwe nna jwale mara se selo ke tla tshwariwa mara ke fokoditse batho ba go reipa basadi because of ko kwa bohloko ka ntho e direla go la ke dula ka phembelo se gaufi le mekhukhu ya gore ke makauso on Sunday ba mfounetse ba tšhomi jaaka ba le ka mekhukhu ba mpetsa mekhukhu ya swa ke mo re dulago ka ke tima ke ya kwa ke re ke go ba thuša go ka ba 80 ge ke bua ke re ke bua marago ntlong ka gahlana le batho ba i4 ba ntšha dithunya ba i2 ba ba mantšha memphaka ba ntšela difounu and ga ba le gore di tsebile ka o kema gare ga batho ba wena a ntseba mara na kgona go motseba so Monday ka malata and a feletša a confirmile gore ke bona ba itšere go bona e be ba nagana gore ke nna motho wa batho ba di-firefighter ba ba tima go mollo la e bona and so ntho nkuša bohloko because ke batho ba bantši ba ke tseba gore ba reipiwa saita mo ke dula gona last ba reipile lekgowa le lengwe gana mo le tseba di-drugs le gore ka di-drugs and ka feletša ke dikwile ka feletša ko kwa batho ba gona re ba re ke bomang so ntho nkuša bohlokane basadi mo lebilo tsa gore makauso ba reipiwa batho ba ntse ba tshwara ba no tšwa same time o ka se kwešiše gore go diagala that's why nna ke feletše ke tepoša gore yo a reipa go ka mosadi ke tlo mmala ka noši go e nna toronkong le ka toronkong le magistrate ke tla mmotša ka re ke mmolaile o ka nkweba mara ke fokotšitše batho ba go reipa basadi batho ba go reipa basadi ba thoma go ba safe kana o moanela ke mo fokotšitše
o tla ba tlosile ko strateng ra leboga papane re tla ba re rapesana le wena. Guys, and that is the reality of most South Africans. We're living in fear every single day. La mo kwantate ore a tsebe gore na whether mosadi wa hae o tla ba kena taxing a ba repiwa or ba mo tshwara poho. These are the real fears of South Africans, and this is the conversation that we're opening up. Thetha. Do stay with us after the break.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha la ku SABC 1 again. Noma sengithi show iyaphela ungakhathazeki. Beyiphela ishow ukhumbula ukuthi ngaye ku Facebook la ngabe sishiye khona for wena ongatholanga isikhathi ku Facebook live. Kodwa njoba inkulumo iqhubeka manje ku #DailyThetha sikhuluma manje sesithi siyaphi besla. We spoken about inkinga zasemhlabeni. We spoken about ama challenges esinawo emphakathini. We spoken about the psychological elements. Kodwa ake sinike nje ithuba mhlambe basinike okugcina ukuthi singenzani physically ukuthi sisolve le inkinga esinazo.
Yeah, I think we can start with Putin Dumiso.
I think umbono wami esikhathini siphila kuso sijwayele ukuthi ukukhala kusizi kwahlula imbuzi and I think that's the same approach mangabe uthola ukuthi umuntu akasebenzi kunabantu abasha bangasebenzi uthola ukuthi mhlawumbe basebenzisa ama plastic bawuthola estradini bayenza ama bags and so on and so forth bayawadayisa. So I think usiya into ayishilo is quite true that we don't have any other choice but to be proactive about the situation, particularly mayelana nokwenza mayelana nezinto zomnotho na futhi ngifuna nje ukugcizelela ukuthi as thina amadoda we have a big responsibility towards protecting women and our sisters ekhaya and in our community as well. So over and above that, it's important that as men we step up and we play a proactive part in that respect.
Sure, that is amazing. Men need to step up, but I think it's everybody that needs to step up at the end of the day. And I think Sia has put it out there. We all have to become leaders now. Mangle mang tshwanza tshwarwa ga monotho a ye pele.
Qala endlini ekhaya la uhlala khona ukuthi ukhulisa ingane ngendlela ekwazi ukuthi sikhumbule ukuthi ukuhlonipha intombazane kubalekile. Ukuthi ukushayana was back in the day was okay. Now it's not, because it's cultivating lo mcabango ukuthi ukushaya intombazane ku right.
Ukushayana was never okay. Mafusi again.
I'll see. Ke bona ke nahana hore ba neng ha ka khutla that thing ya hore community
ya tlhokomelana.
ya tlhokomelana.
Yeah.
There should be unity among ourselves.
Yeah.
And ska uchilo ntate ga ba neng le also ka mo discipline kana go qala ka mo ka tlu. Wa understand? I think la ka khotsa ngwana wa tsa keng ha ntho ha se ya hao ha se ya hao hlompha ntho ya motho a itseng understand le hore le ha o sentse ntho motho motho moholo aska nka ngwana a mo bona hore tsa keng ke thaka hae bua jalo ka motswadi bua jalo ka ntate bua jalo ka mme because lena itself ke motswadi lena bana ba strateng ba ka o jwetsa gore okay mme wa tlotlisa ka o bona o etsa something hana taba o lo jwetsa ke lo shapa
ha e gore wa tsuba pele ga
motho ha o ska corrupt bana ba rona
sure
understand
yes all right sis Lorenza
what I'd like to say is that embrace the situations around us and that with us youth, especially with the fourth industrial revolution that is currently, it's been here. It's been here. We just were turning a blind eye to it. And now because it's taking away jobs like all the time, now we feel like, oh my gosh, no guys, it's been here. Embrace it. Whatever you're doing, there's online courses for coding, there's online courses for web design, anything. Just make yourself open to the reality that is coming. And also, our parents didn't have the opportunities we had. The system that they had, they couldn't go to universities, they couldn't have access to these things. We have freedom to find these things. We can ask anyone, you know, for help, for assistance. Social media, you can ask anyone for assistance. Ask for assistance if you don't have it. And just embrace this 4IR because it's not going anywhere and it's going to get worse and it's going to be here. It's going to take your job if you don't embrace it.
Putsia?
Yes, quickly. What I would like to say, Uti, one, we need to cultivate a vision as young people of this country. That says we are not going to allow the status quo to continue as it is. And now we need to be actively involved and be active participant in issues that affect the society, whether it's politically, whether it's economically, whether it's socially, or even morally. We need to be active participants in making sure that we drive the change that we want to see in South Africa. And just to say that young people, you need to be actively involved again. Please, social media, it's helpful, but put the phone down, go to the municipality, ask questions, ask a service deliverer what's happening. We need to be out there practically on the ground. Thank you.
Angiyabona usana ubucomrade kwena ngiyabuza. Ngiyabona lo bucomrade busasekhona. Siswami ngicela mhlambe njoba unasibuyisile njoba sesivala ngicela ukuthi mhlambe usibuyisele with 3 key factors mele consider that could assist psychologically for abantu basemakhaya.
So the first one is that chaos exists, but we must keep going. We need to keep moving, keep living, keep looking forward to life and what it has to bring for us. I think one thing, like it was said, you cannot allow yourself to be paralyzed by fear. And that's the condition of how life is. But what we need to do is we need to find productive ways and proactive ways to exist in this society. What is wisdom? And wisdom is finding insight around certain spaces that you know would expose you greater to some risks and trying to work around it. Yes, it's an inconvenience to wake up in the morning and have to think of 101 ways in which you could be at risk, but it also puts you in a better place in terms of your survival to be at that level of being alert and look out for your life.
Sure. Ayike uyazwela ke nawe mbukeli ukuthi ukukhula ukushintsha ukhumbule ukuthi ke into ebalekile I think between yourself and I nje basikhuluma njengabantabasha ukuthi kubalekile to be involved. Kubalekile ukuthi ube involved. It's very important for you to have a voice amongst your friends. These things start in the circles that hlala kuwona. Our friends, our family who are involved in crime that we're not raising the voice until one day they steal from you. Now we must cry with you. So I think it's so important for us to always voice out where you are. Before you expect people to be accountable, are you accountable?
And remember, conversation on Facebook. Are we living in fear of the unknown? We don't know what might happen to our futures. With too much killing, lies, nepotism, corruption, drug abuse, political scandals, we no longer feel safe in our country. I don't know what we're going to feel unsafe in our country, guys. Mang le mang a tsaya marumo a re fast. Guys, it's going to be an absolutely amazing one tomorrow. It is a Thursday after all, and we are going to be talking about the explosion
of Amapiano.
So do tune in every Monday to Thursday, 10:30 to 11:30, only on SABC 1, and we are live on Facebook, right?
So sibonge kakhulu emakhaya, phinde futhi sihlale kusasa exactly at this time 10:30 to 11:30. Sibonge. Thank you.